my next question would be, you invested in the US market from 93 to 99, and then you started serious investing in India also somewhere from 2002 3. So what kind of difference did you notice between the two markets, and what kind of difference do you find among the same two markets today? I don't know whether you are still investing in the US market or not. So if you can share some uh,
No,
thoughts on that.
the thing is, I'm no longer investing in the US markets. Maybe at a certain point I will again. First, the thing is, I could see a lot of opportunities in the Indian market, so I didn't want to, basically uh, invest in the US markets when there were opportunities. See, the thing is, in the US market, it will not be possible for you to, since you are staying in India, it's not that easy to, do the scuttlebutt and so on, because on ground research is a very important part of what I do and what we as a company also do, which becomes a bit more difficult if you are trying to invest in overseas markets. Uh, and I could always find enough opportunities in the Indian market. Uh, and over a period, I saw that the US markets had basically the valuations were definitely not in favor. In Indian markets also there are cases where you know valuations are not in favor, but there is still whole set of investments or sectors or companies where valuations have always been favorable. Um, and so you look there, basically, and you can back it up with a lot of on ground research and scuttlebutt.
Sure, sir. So now moving on to the next question. So take us through some of your biggest winners. And I don't want to necessarily know the names. I am more interested in knowing the whole journey, what made you buy and hold the stock, and what kind of ballpark returns you got from that investment. And there's a specific reason I'm asking this question, because nowadays you are aware that on social media we hear so much of noise in terms of buying this now, exiting now, and making so much of churn. And I'm not saying churn is wrong. But what I'm trying to say is that many a times new investors, they don't even realize what is the power of holding on for a long period of time. So if you, as you mentioned, so in 2004 5 you are holding a stock, so it would be around 20 years now, right? Close to 18, 19 years, right? So what kind of, so when you say about the returns, the number of X you have made in that 20 years, probably that will help people to get inspired and understand the power of holding. So that's why I want you to elaborate on this.
Yeah, so the one company which I talked about earlier, for example, I bought it in 2004 at around, adjusted for split 8 rupees. That company is around 3,000 rupees right now. Uh, Obviously, the journey, as I said, there were many episodes where, there was a question of capital allocation, question on capital allocation, or diversification, as a lot of people put it. But the thing is, the key thing for me, this holding on to this company, is that this company has been constantly growing better than the industry all through its journey, uh, and that is and it never became very very expensive in for me to take a exit or so on. It always, for the first 10 years, I think the returns were quite moderate. The whole relating happened after 10 years, post 2014. um, and post that also the company is still growing. So for me, there is no reason to exit. This 8 rupee stock went to 5200, is now back to 3000. So again, for somebody who bought it at 5000 or 5200, the outcome is very different than the outcome what it is for me. So same stock will have different outcomes for different people, because uh, your a lot of people say that entry point doesn't matter, but it does matter a lot. There are so many examples of that. So again, in this journey, you will see significant drawdowns also. But my idea is that as long as the company is growing and the valuations are still where it's not in a very expensive zone, I will keep on holding to that stock. And it's almost like you are also the entrepreneur in this company if you're holding for 18 years. So the journey is, you will not look at every quarter result, or even you can give them a off year also, because what the management has done and what their thought process is over the years, and so you just stick on, unless it becomes crazily and expensive. I will not sell. That is the idea. And so that is about this particular stock. There have been others, so this was basically a journey where the entrepreneur was very smart, in the sense that he used to get things done, and somehow got growth each time, over different periods also. Then there are other investments where I could get into a company which there was a change of guard from previous generation to next generation, and you had the opportunity to meet the new generation, or listen to the phone call and so on. In this particular case I'm talking about is where I could get a meeting with the next gen, and I could see tremendous change. So this company has grown multifolds after this change. So these are some of the things which you look for in a company, where re-rating can happen, or a different growth trajectory can happen with change of guard and so on. So these are the things you look as an investor. After all, you bet on probabilities of what is happening. You assess the management, you assess what they are saying, what they are doing, how they are, basically reacting to challenges which will always come, be it due to economic slowdown, be it due to events like demonetization and so on. So over the period there will be GFC, or COVID and so on. See, external events always happen. Then there could be challenges in the industry itself and so on. So how do these companies navigate? And so as you mentioned earlier also, being an entrepreneur really helps you understand these things. And over a period you make a judgment on the management, and as long as they are doing what they're saying, and navigating properly through different cycles, you just hold on to the stocks. Is So that's why, despite me being, in cyclical investing, again, that is something where I have a portion of my portfolio allocated to that. But my legacy portfolio, I continue to hold. Again, stocks, obviously, there are some stocks which have sold after 10 years also, with success, without much success, or if it got overly expensive and I found a better opportunity and so on. But you